Yesterday, there was an attack on the Belgorod region, which is located in Russia near the Russian-Ukrainian border. It was carried out by units formed from among Russian volunteers, the Legion of Freedom of Russia and the Russian Volunteer Corps. The Legion was formed from former Russian servicemen and other Russians who had defected to Ukraine. They were formed from ethnic Russian immigrants in August 2022. Both are involved in the defense of Ukraine against the Russian invasion. Both are the members of the International Legion of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Last year, they allegedly received their own artillery. The military of the Russian Volunteer Corps and the Legion Freedom of Russia called this operation not conquest, but liberation of Russia from Putin's regime. This was the situation this morning, a day after the start of this attack, at the Russian Belgorod road checkpoint on the border between Russia and Ukraine. And this is what this checkpoint looked like before and after the reverse invasion. Russian sources began reporting on the morning of May 22 that a detachment of the Russian Volunteer Corps and the Legion Freedom of Russia, consisting of 2 tanks, an armored personnel carrier, and 9 other armored vehicles, crossed the international border and captured Kozinka, a settlement in the Belgorod region of Belgorod Oblast, within 600 meters of the border with Sumy Oblast. Several Russian sources claimed that the grouping then captured the settlements of Glotovo and Goropodol. Although some mill bloggers disputed claims that the attack completely captured Glotovo or Goropodol, instead reporting that the Russian Volunteer Corps forces not only got to the Glotovo House of Culture. Institute for the Study of War has not yet observed geolocated confirmation that the Russian Volunteer Corps or the Legion of Freedom of Russia reached Glotovo or Goropodol. Geolocated footage posted on May 22 does confirm that the Russian Volunteer Corps struck a border post near Kozinka before crossing the border with at least 1 tank. The Russian Volunteer Corps also posted footage reportedly showing the body of a Russian bodyguard in a border station, likely from the border crossing near Kozinka. Russian mill bloggers later claimed that Russian troops retook control of all 3 settlements. Some Russian sources additionally reported that Russian forces repelled pro-Ukrainian sabotage groups near Dronovka, about 22 kilometers northwest from Kozinka. The Russian Volunteer Corps additionally posted footage reportedly outside 2 settlements near the border area in Bryansk Oblast. But the nature of this incursion is unclear, and the Institute for the Study of War has not observed additional evidence or discourse surrounding actions in Bryansk Oblast on May 22. Ukrainian main intelligence Directorate noted that the Russian Volunteer Corps and the Legion of Freedom of Russia are comprised exclusively of Russian citizens, and reported that the groups launched an operation in Belgorod Oblast to liberate these territories from the so-called Putin's regime and create a security zone by the border to protect Ukrainian civilians from further Russian shelling. Belgorod Oblast Governor Vyacheslav Gladkov announced on May 22 the start of a counter-terrorism operation regime in order to ensure the safety of citizens in Belgorod Oblast. While some social media users posted footage claiming to show an official evacuation from the Belgorod region, the Belgorod Oblast Ministry of Emergency Situations reported that it never announced an evacuation and suggested that some individuals may be leaving on their own accord. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov stated that the Russian Ministry of Defense, Federal Security Service, the Border Service reported to Russian President Vladimir Putin on an attempt by Ukrainian saboteurs to break into Belgorod Oblast. Hostilities in the Belgorod region have been going on for the 2nd day. This video was shot today in the village of Kozinka. According to reports from the Russian side, it can be assumed that the Russian Volunteer Corps and the Legion fighters managed to gain a foothold on the territory of the Belgorod crossing point and even dug in on defensive lines on the Russian side of the border near the village of Kozinka. Today, Peskov said that efforts are continuing, but he could not answer the question why the cleaning of the Russian region has been going on for more than a day. Russian propagandists say on TV that Russia will have to create a buffer zone near the border with Ukraine on the territory of Russia itself. Thus, during certain months of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, hostilities moved to the territory of Russia itself.